Found that neither any man living or book was able to teach me those truths I desired and longed for.
Dee has looked into mathematics, he's looked into astrology and astronomy, he's absorbed all these strands, but it still hasn't given him the thing that he wants. He now is prepared to go to the next step, which is to go deep into the occult, into hidden knowledge, in order to try to find these secrets, the very secrets of nature.
Dee was at the point of giving up his quest when he made the discovery that changed the course of his life. The Steganographia is an infamous black magic manuscript written in the 15th century. The book was written in a coded language that contained many barbarous and strange names of spirits. It was believed that these spirits were the key to a reservoir of hidden knowledge.
Nowadays we're well aware that there are unseen powers that make the world work and manipulate human beings. Apart from neutrons, protons, electrical charges, we also have viruses, bacilli and microbes. The people of John Dee's England couldn't see these things. They had some inkling they were there, and so they called them demons, spirits and angels.
In the 16th century, everyone saw angels and demons having a direct role in their lives. There was no controversial issue about the existence of spirits and angels and demons. I mean, they existed. They were part of the universe as it was understood then. And it would almost appear slightly cracked to imagine that they didn't exist.
Dee now believed that the only way to find the answers that he was looking for was through the spirit world. But he found that he had no ability as a medium and turned to scryers for help. Scrying is an ancient occult art in which magicians use a crystal ball or mirror to take the mind out of the conscious world into the realm of the supernatural.
The logic behind it was that angels were basically intermediaries with God. If you wanted to find out the word of God, the message of God, of course, traditionally you should use the church, but in the midst of all this religious turmoil, the angels provided effectively a sort of alternative route for a direct line to God. People who were dabbling in these areas were regarded as dangerous because they might release these dangerous forces into the world through their activities.
Dee's attempts at scrying yielded nothing until a man with a notorious reputation as a black magician appeared at Mortlake. His name was Edward Kelly.
Kelly was a strange, difficult, fractious, troublesome character. I mean, as soon as he came into Dee's life, Dee became involved in something that was way beyond his control.
John Dee was somebody who was trying to find a way in to the world of the occult. When Kelly turned up, all of a sudden Dee was provided with what seemed to be a key to that door.
And alchemist. From the moment that Dee and Kelly began their occult partnership, Dee's diaries describe an astonishing supernatural world opening up to them.
So you can perhaps imagine Dee, Kelly, a study full of books. What would start the ball rolling would be Kelly. He would be peering into a polished black mirror or into a crystal ball. If the ritual worked correctly, then entities would be summoned. They would then appear in the crystal to Kelly, at which point him and Dee would interrogate whatever had appeared to them.
Dee was excited and intrigued by Kelly's incredible visions. He was desperate to find out what and who these entities were.
Suddenly, this extraordinary cast of angelic characters erupted from the crystal ball that he used, from sort of coquettish young maids to these great giants with suns blazing from their eyes. Dee constantly struggled with the angels. I mean, he was constantly questioning whether or not he should believe them. He was questioning whether or not they were angels or whether in fact they were demons disguised as angels.
There are entities whose speech was so apocalyptic, so cold and beautiful and terrifying, that even to modern ears, this is scary stuff.
In this day and age, we don't believe in angels, but at the time, it was truly believed that spirits were behind things, and through the spirits, it was God himself was behind these spirits or angels. So Dee's not messing around here. Dee thinks he's locked into angelic communications.
During the course of what became known as the angelic conversations, 70 different spirits would appear to Kelly. Some appeared human, others monstrous and demonic. They were angels they recognized from ancient versions of the Bible, but many of the spirits, like the beautiful coquettish maiden Madimi, were mysterious and unheard of. Dee fervently recorded every last detail of the scrying sessions in his diary.
Dee was working in a world where it wasn't magic that he was doing, it was a science of angels. This is somebody approaching this unearthly territory with incredible scientific method.
And Dee was clearly bewitched by this extraordinary set of creatures that Kelly presented to him. And not only were the angels sort of interesting, they were delivering fantastic material. They seemed to be delivering some sort of coded message that would reveal the secrets of the universe.
Dee was now convinced that he was close to fulfilling his ultimate ambition, and the angelic conversations took over his life and work. Mortlake would never be the same again. Dee's young wife, Jane, detested Kelly. She believed that he was evil and that the angelic conversations would lead them to ruin.
Angel magic's an odd one. It is, despite wearing these ostentatious trappings of piety, at core black magic. In some ways, it's difficult to think of anything more blasphemous than trying to get the angels of the Lord to do your bidding.
While Dee was in the midst of his seances with Kelly at Mortlake, this extraordinary figure, this Polish prince called Lasky, turned up on the royal barge. He was doing a tour of the country at the time. And he actually managed to work his way into these seances, which was an incredibly dangerous thing to be involved in.
Lasky's presence at Mortlake was now raising grave concerns at court.
When Elizabeth was trying to steer a very careful course through European politics, when her rivals were far more powerful and were all Catholic, meant that almost certainly Dee's association with Lasky meant he was being followed, he was being watched. They were wondering if an influential character like Dee, who, remember, still had this kind of dubious reputation in the popular mind, was involved in something he shouldn't be.
Informers working for Elizabeth's chief spy master, Sir Francis Walsingham, now had Mortlake under constant surveillance. The atmosphere there grew increasingly tense as the angel Madimi revealed, through Kelly, that Walsingham was plotting Dee's downfall.
Madimi appeared to us and said, "They will shortly lay a bait for thee. They are determined to search your house. They hate thee. Trust them not."
In Mortlake, things become more and more paranoid, and they're fearful of spies in England. And Madimi, their angel, is telling them that they must leave and they must follow Lasky, who will be their patron, and they will be able to pursue the language of the angels over in Poland.
He knew how dangerous it was.